but because that's her place, that's what she likes, and that broke me. I have seen this reaction come up for so many books, but never for this one. I am, if you cannot tell, crying like a baby, distraught, and I've not even finished the book, okay? It's not even done, and I've been crying for the past 20 pages minimum. I cannot believe this one could get under my skin so much. I've seen so many people say, oh my god, it's so good, oh my god, it's so good. I have to agree and disagree because it's making me feel like shit. So I do agree, but to some extent, and I won't talk about it. So this first part of the video, I won't have finished this book, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I'm just distraught. This is reminded me a lot of Normal People. Them going on, and it didn't really catch with me at all, but at the end he moves away for a job and they have to do long distance, and she's like, okay. When I read it, I was like, yeah, I do long distance too, so it doesn't really hit me. This one, on the contrary, hit me like a truck, because it talks about it in all of the ways that I do think long distance should be approached. I have been doing long distance. It's the 4th year that I'm doing it, not yet in a like circular sense, so it's not been 4 years yet, but I'm over the 3rd year, getting into the 4th year, so it's almost 4 years. And it was not my first relationship long distance, and I've always done long distance very nicely until now, because when you're young, I never really questioned the loyalty of the people that I was with, and that was really nice, I think, from my part. And now I'm doing long distance in a very nice way, meaning that it is working and I don't have trust issues whatsoever, but everything that it talks about in this book, God, is coming up, because in here they are finally adult characters, so they have jobs, they have lives, they have stuff going on, and it's the state that I'm finding myself in. God, forgive me, I'm sorry, but I'm stepping into adulthood and stepping into getting a job, wanting to settle somewhere, not just because there's a job there, but actually doing it because I want to. And in this book, it explores so much the fact of being somewhere and there's something magical going on, and then she doesn't want to keep it on because it hurts, and he wants to, and that broke me. You can see it. My God, I'm crying right now as well. It really broke me, because that is a lot what I find myself thinking, that even though it's not what my boyfriend wants to break up and stuff, and it's not what I want, I feel that the more I go on, the more I feel the distance, the more I feel it on me, the more I don't want it anymore, the harder it is, and it's so painful. And I feel that in this book it explores those feelings so well that I've been crying for the last 20 pages, and I will be crying until the end, and I will be crying tomorrow and the day after, because this book opened up all of the emotions with the right words that I was feeling, and I also express them. It's not that I keep them in, it's just that I open them again, and the gate is open and it's not closing up, and it's wow. I want to read you some quotes that I have underlined if I don't choke to death because of tears. This is, I think, what is to dream, and I finally understand why mom could never give up, why my authors can't give up, why I'm happy for them. Because this wanting, it feels good, like a bruise you need to press on, a reminder that there are feelings in life so valuable that you must risk the pain of losing them for the joy of briefly having them. Oh God, can we just? It's heartbreaking. And there's another one that I underlined that, okay, everyone that I'm gonna read to you broke me. One by one, and you will see myself break in front of the camera shamelessly, because that's what this book did to me. Then the other one is I'm here for now, I think, because nothing, not the beautiful nor the terrible, lasts. Can we? Those are heartbreaking words, heartbreaking. Then we have another one. There's still no happy ending for a woman who wants it all, the kind who lies awake with furious hunger, unspent ambition, making her bones rattle in her body. I read once that everyone thinks in words. I was shocked imagining those other people who don't use language to make sense of everyone and everything, who don't automatically organize the words into chapters, pages, sentences. Looking into Charlie's face, I understand it. The way a crush of feeling and feathery impressions can move through your body, bypassing your mind. How a person can know there's something worth saying but have no concept of what exactly that is. I'm not thinking in words. I'm distraught. Is this book the best ever? Certainly it is. Oh, I don't know the ending, so I will talk to you when I know the ending and when I can have probably a better way of expressing what I'm feeling, because now it's only tears and you can see it very plainly. But I think that this book, it's the second one that I can resonate with. In Pride and Prejudice, that was my other romance that I could not stop thinking about it, but it didn't make me cry this much at all. It made me happy. That one was one that I could resonate with, because I have that one too, the one of the person that you don't like for some reason, and that usually happens with me, that I don't like someone and then you get to know them and they are actually wonderful. And so I like that one a lot. I like that trope, and that was made so well. And I've read so many other enemies to lovers type of things, but they were nowhere near that one. Then in this one, there are several tropes that I think that people can consider this one to have an enemies to lovers story in, but I wouldn't call it that at all. It's just pissed people acting out of emotions at the beginning that make them misinterpret each other, and then when they get to know each other better, they of course like each other when they get to know each other properly. So I don't think that this one has an enemies to lovers in it. It's like a wrong time kind of situation. And then I think that maybe some other things that I would have seen here, there is a lot of family in here as well, and I've had a lot of romance where there wasn't any family, or like the family was literally sidetracking and just a plot point, but here it felt very, very real, and that spoke to me as well a lot. It's very hard because there are emotions in here that pile up and that are really raw and real and that I liked a lot. And when it said that the characters were crying, I was like, me too, guys, me too. So if I was there with them, I would have been crying. I am still crying. I would be crying for that one. So it broke me. I'm just broken because of this romance. This one is how it's done. I love to cry with books, and it was a long time since I have cried. It was a long, long time. There are certain books that I don't necessarily think... Hello? Okay. I don't necessarily think that when you cry it signifies it's a good book. Not every book is the same, and the book, for example, The Map Makers, that I've read before this one, was really heartfelt and had a airy light to it, and it was really nice that it had that to itself. But I also love a good book that can make me cry for the right reasons. I don't want to cry for the wrong reasons. So if it's like an attempt to make me cry because there's too much gore, not enough feeling. I don't like that one. But in this one, there's no gore at all. It's really nice, and people running through their own issues and their own persona, how they are as people, and how that clashes with other people that they want to be with, and how this makes everything difficult because we all want different things and there's no one to blame. But that happens sometimes. It's making me cry so hard even talking about it now, because that's so true, that sometimes you literally cannot blame anyone for anything. You have some choices to make, you make them, and then someone else makes other choices because their priorities are maybe different in that specific time, and they want to do a specific thing at a specific time. And so that makes it just so hard to accept that it's gonna be that way and that you can't change things. So it's just raw. I cannot finish this in this moment. I will finish it today, but I need a break because I'm hungry and I'm destroyed. So when I will put myself back together, I will get back to this book today. I finished the book. You can hear from my voice, my nose is all clogged. I cannot speak anymore. It looks like I'm ill. I have been crying for the past, I would say it's an hour, almost an hour at this point. I have been reading since, definitely an hour. I have been reading since a while ago, and I didn't stop crying. I have some more quotes to tell you, but I'm destroyed, literally destroyed. So another thing that I have to say about the book is that it's so deceiving. God, I hoped that this was gonna be a light-hearted romance. It's all but light-hearted. It's so sad. And as I said, it's so close to home, so close to what I'm experiencing right now that it hurts. And so in all of the best and worst possible ways, all of the quotes that I read and I'm gonna read and that I've read about are just breaking my heart, which is crazy. And I didn't think that I was gonna experience this while reading this book at all. I was hoping for something fun that I could read, and it was not fun. It was the most dreadful thing I've read in a long while. There's a reason why I'm not reading. Everyone seems to cry when they finish it, and I've been avoiding it for the life of me. So that book I've avoided so much, and I just didn't want to cry. I'm not in that mood where I want to cry. I want to read something that is lighthearted and nice. At this point I'm in that state, and this one completely busted my intentions. I will read you the quotes now, and then we can wrap up the whole review. This is the final quote that I'm gonna read to you. Maybe love shouldn't be built on a foundation of compromises, but maybe it can't exist without them either. Not the kind that forces two people into shapes they don't fit in, but the kind that loosens their grips, always leaves room to grow. Compromises that say there will be a U-shaped space in my heart, and if your shape changes, I will adapt. No matter where we go, our love will stretch out to hold us, and that makes me feel like everything will be okay. How is this possible? This is so heartbreaking and so true, and it's the first time that in a romance I actually find truth. In romances I've always found the very stereotypical and boring type of thing that you have the final ending where everyone is fakely happy and ready to leave their work and ready to leave everything that they have worked for just to be with the other person. And I've always said, oh my god, that's not feasible, that's not how it works, and that's completely true. And then we have this one that doesn't have an ounce of lies, where people are just people and they make choices and they have different intentions, different things that they want to reach, and even though it all works out in the end, there is this idea of not going against what one wants to do, and just you being you and choosing for yourself. And if your choice is not someone else's choice, don't make it your choice, their choice. Meaning that you shouldn't be molded into someone else's choice because you want to make them happy, because you have to be happy in the first place. And I love Nora in the fact that she doesn't apologize at the end. She's so happy to be doing herself and being in a place that keeps her far away from the people she loves, but because that's her place, that's what she likes. And that broke me, because that's so much what I have in my life right now about myself and about the things that I think I can do, and how I feel that I am proud of myself, and what I think that I should be doing, that I shouldn't be, together with my family and the other people that I do have in my life. Because here where I'm at this moment in England is the place where I should be. I should start my career, I should start doing my thing, and that's my choice. And it's so beautiful to see that no one around me ever questioned it. They always said it's okay, you choose you. But it's so heartbreaking to see it from a third person perspective, that it's so hard. You have to be so strong to be able to make that choice, especially if you know that long distance doesn't work for you. So in this romance there is a hint to that, but if I knew that long distance didn't work for me, I should have said no. And that's so heartbreaking, because just, yeah, I love relationships to work out, and when people feel different things, want different things, it's not always possible, and no one is to blame, and it's so hard to accept. So this is my state at the end of the book. How can a romance evoke so much? I was wearing makeup at the beginning of the video, and that changed because I have teared up so much. You can see I'm still doing it right now. My tears have wiped out all of the makeup, and I'm just, whoa, in an emotional roller coaster that this book gave me. And it's, wow, top of the list. It broke me. It totally broke me in a good and bad ways. It's like fighting against it is not the answer, but God, it's so hard to accept, and I wasn't expecting this at all. So if people say that it's got to be read, be aware. God, it doesn't come with a trigger warning sign, but it should have, because I've not teared up this much since probably when Dumbledore died in Harry Potter, or when I saw Titanic and Jack went underwater and he died and she left him there, and that was like, whoa. So totally, those were two instances where I know I haven't cried that much, but I've not recently cried with books at all. I've not cried in so long, and this one opened the gates and they're not closing anytime soon. So I decided to literally do this review while I was reading it, and now that I'm just finished, because I wanted it to be super authentic. And more authentic than this you're not gonna get, I think. Well, I've shown myself vulnerable, and that's how this book made me. So I say, be warned. It should come with trigger warnings, because if you are in a situation similar or are sensitive to things that have situations where the relationship cannot work due to long distance and different ideas, I don't know, I'm not sure I would be recommending this. I would be recommending it if you don't give a fuck. Definitely, that's the book for you. It's written in a very amazing way, that's good. But if you're gonna feel like this, like I'm feeling at the end of it, I would say you should beware. You should be prepared to open the gates as well, and to be flooded by the emotions that are conveyed in this book. It was so good, and all of the different layers of the book were really good as well. Family relationship that gets explored between sisters, and I thought that that part was also really good, because sometimes the siblings are put into romance, but just as kind of accessories, just kind of as plot tools, whereas here it was really explored, it was really nicely done, and there is a lot of interchanging thing between the fact that Nora is an agent, so she engages with books, and there is this one book that they do engage with that has a really nice foreshadowing and balancing within the story, and that as well was really nicely done. Super emotional. I suggest it so much if you can handle it. So I really hope you liked this review, and if you want, subscribe to the channel, give a like to this video, and we will see each other in the next one. Possibly not tearing up this way because I'm spent and I can't handle it anymore. Bye guys!